In this movie, we're going to talk about SQL injection attacks and what they are and how you can stop them in your Ruby on Rails application. So let's take a look at some code here. This is our Critic controller. Now again, this entire Movie Critic application will be available in your working files, so you'll see this extra stuff in there that we haven't added in other videos. Specifically, what I've added here is this search method inside of the critic_controller.rb file. And simply what it does is it allows you to enter a name, and then it goes out and it searches for that name in your movies database. And it does it, I just set it up so it does it from the critics page. So it looks like this, it just shows up. So if we put in a name in here, and if it matches, it'll find that. And at this point, it's a complete match. If you don't have a complete match, it won't find it. Now, what I want to show you is a SQL attack. So if we go back here, and I put in here, and that is a double quote, a single quote, or, which is the keyword SQL or command, so like and or, the number 1, which is always true, and then the double line, which is comment. So anything that comes after this will be commented out as far as SQL is concerned, and then a single quote and a double quote. And now I'm going to search for that. Now you can see that in our bad SQL, it found everything in our database. And if this was something more important than movies, it would find everything in our database. Whereas our good SQL code, it didn't do anything because Rails escaped it out. So what's the difference? When we did a find on that first one, the bad one, I just simply put right inside of my conditions the parameters coming from my last page, from that search page. In that search box, whatever was entered in there is allowed to be put right into this line and evaluated as SQL. Whereas in this one, I use the bind variable functionality or facility of Ruby on Rails, and I put a question mark where I want the SQL evaluation of my parameter to go, so name like, and then after that I put a variable. Now this could be, as I did here, just a string that gets evaluated, or I could actually set this up separately if I wanted to add more stuff in here as a local variable and set this just to a local variable, but instead I just put it all right here. And again, it does the same thing. It evaluates that parameter. The difference is because it's using the bind variable facility, Rails takes care of escaping or quoting out any characters that have special meaning to the SQL. So this is how you protect your application from the SQL injection attacks. It's best never to take direct input from a user and drop it right into a SQL statement. That's how they're going to gain access, and they can do it in a number of ways using this facility. That was just one command that I showed you. Any command that your SQL database supports, they can get access to and get you into real trouble. And in fact, in like Microsoft SQL Server and in Oracle, you can actually execute statements, command line statements on the system. If they know what system it is, they can execute programs via that SQL statement. So don't use this form, use this form.